once you commit to a television format, you're a TV movie. You certainly, if it's a good show, deserve an Emmy, but not an Oscar.
While Steven Spielberg's directorial history is impressive, his assessment of films on streaming services misses the mark. Streaming services like Netflix provide young and diverse filmmakers with the chance to convey their artistic vision to a wide audience. Although some smaller independent films attain a theatrical release, this is becoming more and more rare. Studios like Disney are asking for larger returns of the theater's profits and longer runs of their films in such theaters. This hurts the chances of smaller films from young and diverse filmmakers to receive recognition. Through streaming services, though, these people with traditionally repressed ideas and storytelling methods can see their projects flourish. Streaming services invest money into smaller projects from diverse filmmakers, telling important stories, making such OTT companies vital. The recent demands from large studios prevent these smaller voices from being heard, making the presence of streaming services that much more important. Overall, the pushback to streaming services and their merits is unsound. Netflix, Amazon, and other OTT channels provide an open landscape of distribution for filmmakers who want to tell important stories. These perspectives matter, and we should applaud these services for their efforts. These streaming services should first be commended for investing time and money into these projects that major studios will not take on. Over recent years, the cost of filmmaking has dropped, yet the surge of films that followed forced major studios to be more selective in distributing certain projects. This left independent filmmakers without the chance of distribution. However, the emergence of Netflix, Amazon Video, and other streaming services have counteracted this. Such a breakthrough has allowed diverse points of view to reach audiences on a wide basis. Streaming services, quote,
have shown a notable interest in making and acquiring films and TV shows with diverse casts and non-traditional storylines.
Now, Spike Lee, one of the most influential black filmmakers, was still denied by major studios to make a passion project. Amazon Video stepped in and funded the project. This works with television, too. Master of None, a comedy from Indian-American Aziz Ansari, was not released because
major networks would not have allowed Ansari and Yang to play with the show's tone and narrative structure to the extent allowed by Netflix.
It would be disappointing to not tell such a culturally compelling story merely because of the structure or content. Luckily, Netflix and other streaming services allow this type of original and diverse content to become mainstream. Overall, it is clear that major studios do not always invest money in diverse filmmakers. Streaming services are essential because they step in and give platforms to these important voices. Not only do these streaming services invest money in diverse filmmakers, they also aim to tell important stories. Without Netflix and other streaming services, we would not see important stories told and geographical boundaries broken. Such stories raise our awareness about social issues, such as human trafficking. Before Netflix achieved its current popularity, it was still demonstrating its importance to diverse and necessary stories. The Academy Award-winning human trafficking documentary, Born into Brothels, was acquired by Netflix more than a decade ago and saw tremendous viewership numbers. The public interest in human trafficking prevention rose dramatically after this Netflix acquisition.
Experts say that, quote, the cultural salience of sexual trafficking narratives coincided with a technological innovation that enabled these films to circulate rapidly throughout a broad audience base.
Geographical boundaries are also broken by Netflix and other streaming services. This has happened with Bollywood films, where Indian Americans in the US can see their culture represented.
Internet streaming services such as Netflix have allowed access not only to South Asian diasporic audiences, but also to Anglo-American viewers who have come to appreciate the sheer entertainment value of an inherently hybrid film genre, showing the geographical boundaries that can be broken.
Ensuring that a wide range of cultures are represented is an admirable undertaking by Netflix, and an important one as well. Unfortunately, major studios infrequently take this route. Streaming services are also important because they counteract the current push from studios to receive larger runs and profits from theaters. For the 2017 film Star Wars: The Last Jedi, Disney demanded theaters give them 64% of ticket revenue and a no exception 2-week run in their main theater, among other demands. Such a demand hurts the chances of smaller films with diverse filmmakers and important stories getting told. By limiting theater access and demanding more money, smaller theaters will have no choice but to comply and therefore disregard smaller independent films. Because of this, streaming services are even more essential. They counteract these large studio demands by supporting a wide range of content, specifically seeking out young and diverse filmmakers with socially conscious stories.
Netflix's content has such diverse subgenres like biographical, historical, and political, scientific, cultural, and spiritual.
This illustrates Netflix's ability and willingness to distribute inclusive content that appeals to a wide audience. Luckily, as McLean notes, there are still places to find this content diversity on streaming services. All of these issues come together to truly demonstrate the importance of such services. Overall, it is clear that Netflix has important goals of promoting diverse viewpoints and important stories. Simply because major studios do not distribute these projects does not mean they are any less of a film, as Steven Spielberg unfortunately suggests. These streaming services give necessary voices to young and diverse filmmakers who have a unique vision, something that cannot be undervalued. These filmmakers tell important stories, and their projects are sometimes only able to be funded through Netflix and these streaming services. With the major studio system infringing on theaters, these streaming services are all the more necessary. The importance of these films and filmmakers overshadows the fact that they do not get major theatrical distributions. We should be focusing on the quality and importance of a film, not its distribution method. Luckily, streaming services seem to be doing exactly that, and their presence makes the film and television industry more inclusive and accessible.